sophomore when Victoria, once the most popular girl in school, returned after missing the first 4 months of the year. The entire class went dead quiet when she walked in. "There's the girl who got railed and is now a mom at 16, someone yelled, cutting through the silence. The entire class roared with laughter. That day she sat alone in the cafeteria getting papers thrown at her. I tried to walk over to sit beside her, but my friend grabbed my shoulder and handed me a balled up page. "Don't feel bad. She deserves this. She baby trapped her boyfriend instead of going D1 to play football. He's now changing diapers." I watched Victoria for the next few weeks, and I saw how her life at school became hell. Teachers, once fascinated by her kindness and intelligence, now looked at her like she was what's wrong with society. They'd answer Victoria's questions sarcastically, treat her like she didn't belong, and during an intimacy safety class, the teacher giving the presentation stared directly at her the whole way through. The students were no better too. Girls who used to copy her style now whispered slut when she passed. Her friend group exiled her immediately. She had to deactivate her social media within 2 weeks. But all throughout this, I noticed something about Victoria, and it's that Victoria never let the bullying turn her spiteful. I saw her tutoring special needs kids after school. I saw her slip lunch money to a freshman who forgot his. She always had tampons in her backpack for girls who needed them. Nobody ever thanked her for it. They just took what they needed and went back to pretending she didn't exist. Everything changed the day I decided to skip 5th period. My mom had been on another bender the night before and had hurt me, and I needed a smoke break to stop my hands from shaking. I went to the hidden spot behind the gym with no cameras to have a smoke. I was halfway through my cigarette when I heard footsteps. Mr. Peterson, my geometry teacher, appeared around the corner. Everyone loved him. Girls giggled when he made jokes in class. "Rough day?" he asked, moving closer to me. I knew I'd been caught, so I locked eyes and asked him not to tell anyone. "I won't," he responded. "I've noticed you've been stressed lately. I could help you relax." Before I could process what was happening, he had me backed against the wall. His hands started sliding down my arms, and I completely froze. My cigarette fell from my fingers. "Just let me help you," he whispered. "Back the fuck away." Victoria rounded the corner with pepper spray pointed directly at his face. Her hand was steady even though her voice shook with rage. Mr. Peterson stumbled backward and tried to play it off. "I was just checking on a troubled student. You're misunderstanding the situation. I saw everything. Leave now." The way she said it made him actually listen. He muttered something about reporting us for smoking and disappeared. I stared at her with thankfulness in my eyes. She told me she came out for a cigarette too. She wasn't a hero, just right place, right time. Victoria walked me straight to the principal's office. She demanded something be done about Mr. Peterson, but Principal Hayes barely looked up from his computer. "Mr. Peterson has taught here for 15 years without a single complaint. Are you sure you didn't misinterpret what you saw? He had her pinned against a wall with his hands on her," Victoria said. Hayes turned to me. "Is that what happened? Sometimes when we're upset, we see things differently than they really are." Then he looked at Victoria and his voice got even more condescending. "Given your situation, I understand you might see problems where none exist. If you didn't want drama, maybe you should have thought about that at 15. Victoria's face went red, filled with tears, and she walked out of the office. Too shy or scared to speak, I followed her. I wanted to talk to her right there and then, but she was gone. I didn't see her for the next 2 days, but when she came back, the worst thing possible happened to her. I was in algebra when one of the guys who often made jokes about Victoria called me over to show me something on his phone. I was reluctant at first, but he and a few others pressured me until I agreed. He opened up our year group's private IG gossip account and told me to take a look while laughing. My stomach dropped. There was a post of Victoria, but it wasn't her. It was AI-generated nude photos with her face photoshopped on. I felt sick. "Pretty funny, right?" he told me, laughing and turning to his friends behind him. I think they thought I was one of them. I just nodded and left the room. I had seen Victoria earlier in the day, so I immediately went looking for her. I found her in that smoke spot behind the gym. She was sitting on the ground, bawling her eyes out. I didn't even say anything. I just sat beside her and comforted her. After 10 minutes of painful sobbing, she turned to me and said, "You're the only friend I have left." She then lunged into me. "You deserve to know the truth." She pressed against my chest. "My boyfriend Jake isn't the father. He left me when I found out I was pregnant." I couldn't believe it. "Then who is the father?" I asked hesitantly. "Mr. Peterson," she said before bursting into tears again. My heart dropped. That was the same teacher who she had stopped from assaulting me.